That sound you hear, that's the people that paid off to laugh at. I was going to give you guys a talk on cocaine, but then I realized it would probably be a bad idea, probably be able to understand because I'm really hard to understand when I'm on crack. You know, one thing I noticed about Facebook, we're all on Facebook. I have my own views on Facebook. Facebook makes us really narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? Facebook makes us think that people genuinely. Thanks for the red light. So Facebook, honestly, Alright, so Facebook makes us really narcissistic, right? Because it makes you think that people actually give a fuck about what you have to say, right? Because genuinely, you're like, you know, everyone is always so self-obsessed on Facebook. Damn it. Can't take this off. Thanks. Alright, so much. Alright. So narcissistic. Everyone's like, oh my god, look at this picture of me having a great time. Or, you know, look at this, oh my god, selfie guys, oh my god. Alright, you know, like, oh, check out my new shoes, guys, like, you know, check out my new phone. And you've got like all of these hundreds of pictures just flooding your feed. You have to shut the fuck up. You have to understand that the people on your friends list, if they wanted to see your face, they'll be your close friends. Nobody has 900 close friends. Some of us don't even have 5 close friends. Some of us have no friends, not even looking at you. So, it's seriously not good. So I honestly people need to get over it. And honestly, another thing about Facebook is, you know how all of us put our best foot forward when it comes to the pictures, right? But all of us have that one friend who's ridiculously photogenic. You know? That one motherfucker who's ridiculously photogenic. And you know, there's nothing wrong with looking good. All of us have good pictures. You put the best foot forward, you know, some of you know my best side, inside that's not my face, just like that. But some people there, they're just so ridiculously photogenic. Like they could be sitting down and taking a shit, and they would look better than you when you're dressed up. And you'll be like, what the fuck? How is that bad? You're not wearing pants. How are you better looking? So if any of you are there in the crowd, I just have 2 words. Fuck you. Some of us have to work really hard at looking good. Alright. Alright, hey, very much. Alright. You know, another thing I was thinking about is that, you know how girls, this is a problem I think mainly in this country. Girls have this problem of like grasping or comprehending the concept of a date. Right? Like essentially, I'm not talking about, you know, you guys are going out and you want to go on a romantic night, that's fine, you know, that's you. But I'm saying when a guy comes and asks you out on a date, you have this problem comprehending what he's saying. So let me break it down for you. It's like when you go to a car dealership, alright? You're taking the car for a test drive, alright? Nobody wants to go to the car dealership and buy something that they don't like or they can't afford. They have various managers for that, that's okay. So you have to understand, you know, that it's essentially goes both ways. You know, you're taking each other out, that's fine, it's completely fine. Speaking of, the problem with girls is like, if you take her out on a date, first date, the guy is thinking, man, is she into me? Am I going to get a kiss by the end of the night? The girl has fast forward. She's like, I'm going to choose like white flowers at the reception. And that's like my first girl is when they call like Tiffany. And like, I'm like, calm the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. You can't be talking about kids. My pants are still on. Like we ain't gonna be talking about kids, but my pants are still on. We have to be doing shit before kids come along. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you come over here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Honestly, you know another thing that overseas, man, when you want to ask a girl out on a date, you know there are different levels of dating. You want to ask a girl out into a romantic dinner, it means you're serious. So you want to take a girl out on a casual date, you probably want to take her to something more casual, right? So something that's not going to break the bank, something that both of you can shit and talk, and it's usually coffee. Alright, it's usually coffee because why? Coffee is needed, it's a cheap beverage. It's not a cheap beverage in Sri Lanka. So it's like, you know, we are like, you know, okay, I see it in the movies, like, you know, want to go for coffee sometimes. So I told my ass to go for coffee, so you take the two girl for coffee sometime. I went up and I ordered a coffee, and he's like, so he's like, you know, you want a hazelnut vanilla? I was like, yeah, shoot, man, how expensive coffee is? This is the first time I've been to coffee, so it's really And he's like, hey, you want some whipped cream and like some hazelnut? I said, fuck yeah, put that shit on. Like, how expensive is whipped cream? So he's like, sir, that will be 1,000 rupees. I'm like, what? And so I'm looking at the coffee, he's like, sir, here's a coffee, here's $1,000. You don't want to see cheap vibes, I'm just looking at it like, do I get a 3-course meal with this? Shit, I could have eaten every day for like a week. I could have take my family for like a week. So like, you're popping it out, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, because it's honestly, like, this is something that all of us have gone through. You don't want to go through, and girls have these crazy, you order these crazy, like, low-fat, low-fat, mocha, grande, quad, no whip, no cream, mocha, chocolate latte, coffees. And then, the guy has to pay for it. All I'm saying is, girls, if a guy, after this, like, he takes you out for coffee and he's willing to pay $1,000 a top, and then he's willing to pay for your mocha, chocolate latte, grande, and then pay $1,500 for that, fucking suck his dick. Alright? At least, like, give him a hug on the way home. Not just the tip. That's all I'm saying, right? Cause shit, man, a guy's gotta get a return on investment, right? Another thing about proposals that's it's a little crazy is that it's so unpredictable. Like, proposals are so unpredictable. Like, what if the girl turns out to be a husband beater, Like, I'm a small guy, shit. Like, I don't fucking defend myself. She beats the shit, what am I gonna say? Like, you're never ready for that shit.
How do you like it?
Yeah? Unless you're into kinky shit like Sasha, Tuesdays, 8 o'clock. Man, another thing, how many of you girls get catcalled every day on the road?
All the time.
Is there only one girl who gets catcalled? You girls must have like horribly bad looking, like nobody ever catcalls me. I get dressed up and I go out and look what I have to show. Not a single damn girl nice butt. At least not a bit. Okay, but seriously, how many of you get catcalled? Be honest. Seriously? I'm going to assume that all of you did. I'm going to assume that all of you. But the thing about Sri Lankan catcalling the guys is that when they catcall, it's fine. Generally, Sri Lankan catcalls are harmless. They're going to say something like, Nangi, go the Anne, and like, Nangachi, and the guy's like, damn girl, you're fine. But regardless, it's harmless. You don't follow, you usually don't follow up. But over in India, man, my sister was studying in India and she was telling me about the shit that goes down in India, man. In India, that shit's fucking, that shit's like DEFCON 1 fucking, you hear someone cracking like, what the fuck, who was that? Like, even if a cat is meowing, you're like, fuck, there's a cat call, fuck, run, Tiffy, run, big sus, Because shit goes down over there, man. People get like raped like daily over there, crazy. Clearly it's 100% more than the girls here because nobody gets catcalls. It's lies, all of you do it. This is another problem that Sri Lankans have problems showing enthusiasm. If any of you have noticed. I think this audience is fantastic. I think you guys are great. I don't think you guys are drunk enough. But you guys are good, But Sri Lankans generally have problems showing enthusiasm. Because it's like, even if you have an international artist who comes out, right? And then it's like, yo, everybody, Sri Lanka! How's everyone doing? Literally everyone's just standing there away. You gonna have? Should. At the same time. I got Like, our people generally, unless somebody starts laughing or clapping, our people have that problem. But our people do not have that problem once they get drunk. Once they get drunk, those niggas will fucking laugh at everything. Like, oh, funny, man. You're so funny, you're the best thing. Like, sir, I'm the bartender, the comedian is out funny. I like you much, and you are sense of humor. Our buggers are crazy, and I was told the funniest thing by one of my friends in the US, right? He said it's so funny. He said Sri Lankans, he started off, he's like back at a comedy. He's like, Sri Lankans, we dance better than white people. He's like, yeah, damn straight we do. But he's like, you guys dance like black people, but with no rhythm. And I was like, shit, you're right. Because when our guys get drunk and Baila comes on, have you seen, it's like your left and your right arm don't have a relation with it. That shit's going, your legs are like spasming. And like, shit, like we break it down, right? Like, our guys know to dance, but with no rhythm. And then you have that uncle in the corner, he's doing Electric Man. And then you and your friend, you're like, is that Uncle Dami doing the Soldier Boy? Oh shit. Man, where was I going to go with this? What was that? You know what? I'm going to quit while I'm here. You guys have been fantastic. Enjoy the rest of the night. We got 2 more comedians coming on. Thank you so much. Have a great night.